Hi, Greg Enthink with the Preferred team at Remax Preferred Group, specializing in helping Cincinnati homebuyers find lower cost home loans in the way of down payments, in the way of monthly payments, and then helping you get the best buy possible on the home that you've picked out. And working out of the home office this evening, I thought I'd take just a minute or two to kind of go through the process of what happens once you pick a home out and make an offer on it. If you've never done this before, you might be surprised at all the different people and entities that are involved and also just how long it takes. So the first thing that's going to happen once we find a home that you're interested in, we come to terms on the price, is that we're going to get that purchase contract to the loan officer for the bank or the mortgage company that you're dealing with. And the loan officer is probably somebody that you've already been talking to while you were doing your search, but now we're shifting from kind of a pre-approval mode to now you found a home and we're going to get that transaction closed. So their main job at this point in time is going to be collecting documents. They're going to ask you for all sorts of different things. They're also going to need a copy of the purchase contract, and they collect all of that stuff for the first several days of the loan. The purchase contract is also going to have several contingencies built into the agreement. And what those contingencies are basically trap doors to help you get out of the agreement should something come up that you're not comfortable with. For example, the condition of the home. So what we do when we write the offer up is we write those contingencies in. The two major ones are for your financing. If for whatever reason your loan doesn't get approved, you're out of the deal there. The second one would be a whole house inspection. So within typically 5, 7, 10 days of having your contract accepted, you're going to bring an inspector through and they're going to give you a report. And either the report is satisfactory or not. And the benefit to you is that if there are defects, things that you're not aware of, things that you're not comfortable with, you can either go back to the owner and have them addressed and still move forward, or you can get out of the deal again because of the contingency and go on and find another property. So we're going to be removing those contingencies over that 7 to 10 day period that we've written in there. So assuming that we do, then the next step of the process would be the bank's going to send out somebody to appraise the home. And that appraiser represents the lender, and their job is to make sure that they're not lending more on that property than the property is worth. So they're going to look at area sales and things like that. You'll hear them referred to as comps. They'll be looking at the comp sales in the area, and just to make sure that everything is in line there. Once that's completed, once the report's back, all those documents get brought together, and the loan officer submits them to the person that's called the underwriter. And the underwriter is the person with the bank or the mortgage company that really decides whether or not they're going to do that loan. And so it's very important to keep that person happy, because they're the ones that kind of give the thumbs up or thumbs down on the deal. So what will happen is that that underwriter will gather all those documents, and then they're going to issue a list of stipulations or STIPs, as you'll hear them called, where that loan officer is given kind of a grocery list of things that the underwriter needs, things that they need clarified, maybe things that were missing in the first submission of materials. So now the loan officer is going to go back and work with you to get all of that stuff removed, explained, or what have you, and then reissue them back to the underwriter. At some point, they're going to be satisfied with what they have, and you're going to go into what's called final underwriting. And now we're about 4 weeks or so into the process. And this is where they really look at everything, especially in this market. They go over it with a fine-tooth comb And this is why from the very beginning you want to pay really close attention to the documents that the lender is going to need to do your loan. A lot of people, they don't take this as seriously as they should, and it can lead to delays in your closing. So if you've done a really good job of getting your documents to the bank in a timely manner, everything goes to final run underwriting. It normally takes 2 or 3 days to make it through that process. And then there's what's called a clear to close that's issued by the bank. And at that point in time, everything is assigned to what's called a title company. Now, the title company is, again, an entity that represents that lender. And their job now is to, number one, orchestrate that closing. But secondly, they're going to search the title of the home to make sure that there's nothing on the title that's going to negatively affect that property, like an uncanceled mortgage from another previous owner or something along those lines, some kind of lien that wasn't paid off. So they're going to check all of that. And assuming that the title is clear, then they're the ones that are going to set up your closing. Now, at your closing, typically one of the referred team members that you're working with will be there. Sometimes the loan officer will be there, and you've got the sellers that are there typically, and then you've got the attorney for the title company who actually walks you through all the documents and everything like that. There's a lot of things to look over, a lot of things to sign, and we're with you there at that point just to make sure everything makes sense and to get your questions answered if you have any. So that's the final piece, that's the closing, and then when that's done, depending on the occupancy arrangement that you've made, you get the keys and you get to move into that property. So as you can see, there's a lot of steps, there's a lot of people involved, and one of our main jobs during the process is to help you coordinate all that stuff and just kind of be there as your advocate, because it can get a little frustrating sometimes when perhaps the underwriter's asking for something and you feel like you've already given that to them and things like that. So that's what we're there for. So if having somebody kind of work with you all along and make the process as simple as possible is important to you, what I'd like you to do now is simply go to the website that you see listed below for more information, and if you feel comfortable, a free consultation at that time. So thank you so much for watching, and best wishes in your home search.